friends, welcome back to the shop. So if you've seen our previous episodes featuring our Toyota 4Runner, you'll know that she's not a pavement princess. We take her out, we use her, we take her on trails, we take her off-road, get her a little dirty. And when you do that, sometimes things break and sometimes things wear a little faster.
So if you happen to see our video where we did the Big 3, Big 4 upgrade on the 4Runner, when we had the wheel off, we actually discovered that one of the boots on the sway bar end link had ripped. Not totally surprised, considering this 4Runner is almost 10 years old and has seen some trail action. So we have a rule that if we are upgrading parts on a vehicle, especially one of this nature where it's going to be used pretty heavily, that we want to either do OEM or better for those parts. We don't want to go cheap. We don't want to end up on the side of a road, or worse, on a trail deep in the woods, broke down and requiring some heavy machinery to get us out.
Right.
So today we are going to work on replacing those sway bar end links. Now, a lot of folks will say you could just take the sway bars off. It's not really needed. It's just helping with suspension travel. But in the curves, and this does go out on the pavement, it's my daily driver, so I want those sway bars there to be able to help keep this thing driving well enough in some of the Ohio curves.
So if it was just dedicated for off-road and fun adventures, we wouldn't really need the sway bar. We'd probably just end up pulling it off at this point. But because it is your daily, and because we do live in Ohio and there are curvy roads, we're going to keep it on.
Yes. So after some research, I decided to go ahead and upgrade them instead of doing the OEM. I want something that's going to last a little bit better. And what I discovered were the sway bar end links from Overland Custom Design. Okay. All right, unboxing the contents. You have grade 8 hardware, which is a big plus. You have your warranty and return information. Cool little tube of Loctite. We'll definitely use that. And then a good heavy gauge 16 millimeter wrench here in case you don't have your own tools. So this is really cool of them to provide.
It's a trail kit.
It is a trail kit. Wow. Now these are all wrapped up really well. So these are fully adjustable. All of the threading matches OEM. The angles match OEM. As I said, these are fully adjustable. Polyurethane boots and the sway bar ball joints are all forged, and according to their website, they are forged and made specifically for them. You can't find these anywhere else. So that was really cool. Everything looks fantastic. Definitely a lot heavier gauge than OEM, which was a big selling point for me. They are a lot more expensive than OEM. These are about $190. So on the pricey side, but I think for what we do with this 4Runner, it's worth the investment.
So for folks at home who may want to suddenly rush out and go look at their 4Runner, which piece of this is broken and why are we concerned about replacing it?
So the boots themselves are actually ripped, and of course because there is a ball joint inside of there, any type of the elements that's going to get inside will deteriorate that ball joint and potentially cause failure completely and breaking.
So basically prevent this piece from flexing like
That's right, like it should.
Got
it. These have a 15,000 PSI strength limit. So really excited about getting these in. So we got the 4Runner on the lift. It's best and definitely advised that if you are going to replace these, You want to jack up both sides at the same time so there is no torsion, no weight on those sway bars. And we'll go ahead and get this project knocked out, hopefully quickly.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, here's your OEM sway bar link right here. And let's see if we can get a good focus on that. This one is completely done too. Both the top and the bottom are just not even really existent. The rubber's there, but they're split all the way around. Definitely time to change both. All right, these bolts are actually a 17 millimeter. Before we start to try to take these off, we're gonna soak them down with knocker loose. You can use knocker loose or Croyle or anything else of that nature to try to help loosen that up a little bit, since we've got it caked up with mud and debris.
Debris?
Debris? Who's debris? All right, we're gonna go ahead and let that set for a few minutes before we start to work on them. It's still not wanting to budge.
Flip the wrench around. There we go. It moved a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah, flip it that way.
Well, that's not gonna help me a whole lot there.
That might. It's got more torque.
There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. A cool little built-in thing for these OEMs, because as you are trying to loosen them up, this will begin to spin, but an Allen wrench right at the end will hold that center. So now it will come off the easy way without having to put some vice grips on the inside of here, which I'll admit I've had to do for other cars. I wish they were all like these. Point where, yes, finally. Okay. All right. Side by side. Beefy. I like it. And here you can see a closer of these boots are just toast.
Yeah, you can really see it when you do it that way.
Yeah. So the new one, longer bolt, actually goes up top. Slide that in. Actually, let's get a washer on there first. Get the angle correctly. Now, as we talked about on the OEM, you put an Allen wrench in here to keep it from spinning. Well, these do not have that nifty trick. But earlier I was wondering, why did they include a 16 millimeter wrench when the hardware is actually 18 millimeters? Well, this is a thin wrench, and it will actually go right in on that inner bolt to hold it without touching any of the rubber or polyurethane booting, which you would typically have happen if you used a regular wrench or vice grips. So, man, very good forward thinking. I'm glad that they really included this. Certainly helps out quite a bit. Now, although these are fully adjustable, OCD did say that these come the length already they should. So from here, we don't need to loosen this up and extend it anymore. And now you'll have this bolt that we need to tighten down and actually get it tight from there. And this, you'll need a 3/4 inch wrench.
That's why you have tool sets that have both SAE and metric.
Yeah. Okay. These are going to be 52 foot-pounds on the torque. No, because I need my little wrench.
Where'd you drop it?
Right here. There we go. All right.
There you go.
All right. Nice. All right. We are all in, looking good, torque down, significantly better looking than the OEM. So now I feel a lot more confident in it. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish up the other side. No need to drag you along through that because it's exactly the same. But hope you like the new look of it.
If you're thinking about replacing your sway bar end links, we definitely recommend that you upgrade. They should last longer. We'll test them out and see.
Yes, probably another 6 months to a year of putting these out on the road and through the trails. We'll come back and probably just do a quick follow-up review and let you know if we've had any issues, if the boots have ripped or anything else. But, you ready to finish up the other side?
Yeah, then we can have a drink, right?
Of course.
Nice, cold. It's hot in here.
Yeah, that's true. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us for another episode. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.